We've got Tulsi Gabbard, once a Democrat, now Donald Trump's selection for Director of National Intelligence, trying to salvage her credibility. Questions are swirling about Tulsi, about her flirtations with pro-Assad and pro-Russian rhetoric, stuff that wasn't really a secret, but has never really been scrutinized as much as it is now, because she is on the verge of becoming one of the top intelligence officials in the United States. And suddenly it seems that even some hardcore Trump allies are a little bit wary of putting Tulsi in charge of America's national intelligence. It is classic Trump administration chaos. A figure once lionized by part of the MAGA base because she abandoned the left and saw the light, she is now being forced to explain years of questionable foreign policy takes. Now, I'm going to play for you what she had to say. You know, when Assad fled Syria and went to seek asylum in Russia, which was granted by Vladimir Putin, immediately it was, what is Tulsi going to say? Well, we should have expected a completely spineless response, which is, I agree with Trump on everything. Just everything Trump said. I'm full support of Trump. I have no independent opinion about Bashar al-Assad anymore, even though I spent years running cover for him. Here is Tulsi Gabbard making a statement about Assad.
I stand in full support and wholeheartedly agree with the statements that President Trump has made over these last few days with regards to the developments in Syria. My own views and experiences have been shaped by my multiple deployments and seeing firsthand the cost of war and the threat of Islamist terrorism.
This is the epitome of insincerity. We are now expected to believe, she just agrees with Trump. Trump knows nothing about this stuff. And she has had years of on-the-record, documented, softly pro-Assad, less softly pro-Putin views. And we've heard them again and again and again, reports that she loved RT and was just accepting the RT propaganda. And now I believe that Donald Trump is just absolutely right about this issue. I completely stand by everything that Donald Trump said. And when a reporter tried to say, what about your relationship with Assad? She just walked away. She didn't want to hear it.
Do you regret your meeting in Syria, Congressman? What about your relationship with Assad?
Yeah, off she goes. So there are two things that are going on here. On the one hand, we do have an incoming series of nominees, cabinet members, advisors, etc., that is arguably the softest on global authoritarianism that we have ever seen. You know, to their credit, call it what you want. There were some people in Trump's first term cabinet who I would disagree with politically, I would disagree with about domestic issues like regulation, etc., but they understood we don't play coy with, we don't coddle global authoritarian strongman dictators. Towards the end of Donald Trump's first term, that changed, and you had a different sort of thing where they did start to coddle the global authoritarians. This term with Trump, if he gets his nominees, which we will see, is going to be the most overtly soft on global dictators American cabinet, certainly in decades. You know, I try to stop short of being hyperbolic and say ever, certainly in decades, maybe in the modern American political era. And so what Tulsi is doing now is she kind of has to play that stuff down because she knows it could jeopardize her confirmation. Have her views changed? Well, if you believe her, they've already changed. She went from Democrat to now Trump supporting MAGAite. So if you believe that, unless you believe it was just a grift all along, which it may be. I mean, we just don't know. If you believe that, her views have already changed. But now we are being told, they're changing again. So now she just matches up with Trump's foreign policy views. Some of these views must be made up, but her immediate walking away and Trump, yes, Trump, sir, he's right about everything. It's all about self-preservation and preservation of her nomination. Will it work? We'll find out. At this point, I don't know. Starting an online business has really never been easier with no upfront costs, minimal investment, and manageable time commitment. It is an ideal side hustle that can scale. Whether you're supplementing income or trying to transition to full-time entrepreneurship, an online business can give you flexibility and growth potential. And our sponsor, Build Your Store AI, makes it super easy and super quick. Build Your Store uses AI to create your website in minutes with a super simple, intuitive process guiding you every step of the way. Build Your Store can even provide ready-to-sell products so you can start selling right away. Just register and choose your niche and then set up your Shopify. Then you can register for AutoDS to streamline your product sourcing and order fulfillment, which will integrate seamlessly with your Shopify. And boom, you've launched a store. In minutes, you can create and launch a fully functional online store with no upfront cost. With BYS AI and AutoDS, it's a streamlined process, efficient, sets you up for success. Start your e-commerce journey today. Watch your side hustle grow into a thriving business. To get started, go to buildyourstore.ai/Pacman. The link is in the description.